Right guys, I know you can see something behind me. I can see them eyes going, oh, not again, but how could I resist? Yeah, it's the new CYRUSHER 2.0. It's the upgraded version of my old little beast. Guys, I'm off. So guys, it is the Kommodo 2.0, the bigger, better version than my predecessor, the bike that I absolutely love. But with this bike, you get upgraded saddle suspension, better front forks, a torque sensor that gives you full 250 watt power, and the incredible light we'll see in a minute. Honestly guys, I've already fallen in love with it. This one is completely UK legal, i.e. 15.5 miles an hour. I have got it set into kilometers an hour, you'll see there. It's got the 250 hub motor. So yes, you can gladly use this all around the UK without the thought of getting pulled over by the old bill. Honestly guys, it is exactly the same feel as I had on my older bike. I am going to keep my older bike, but this is just as great. It has got the big fat wheels again, so there's nothing that's going to stop this on the road or even in the terrain that we're going to go on now. It has got an impressive 68-mile range on one charge of the battery, which is fantastic. It'll get you to work and back most of the week, if not all of the week. Charge it up at the weekend and you're ready to go again. These are the ideal bikes and commuter vehicles to use to go to work. Yes, they cost you a little pretty penny, but so do bikes nowadays. But you haven't got to tax this, you haven't got to insure it, and it gets you there in quite acceptable time. We'll have a little run through on the Shimano gear set. Yes, it is the 7-speed standard across most of these CYRUSHER bikes, and it is absolute a dream to use. Down and up with a single click of this contraption here. It has got extremely efficient disc brakes. You need them on these sort of bikes. They're fairly heavy with the battery in, the big tyres, and if you want to take this on the terrain that we're going to in a minute, you want to feel comfortable, you're going to stop in perfect time. And the light guys, it is impressive. I did have it on in the house of the other evening, and Jesus, it is bright. I've set it to point down because I think you'd startle everyone if you hadn't. The suspension then, very similar to the first Kommodo CYRUSHER brought out. You've got your compression here so you can adjust, and you got your lockout on the other side. Fantastic forks, they really are. They do absorb it, and like I said, got the uprated air suspension, which can be topped up if required, depending on the weight of the rider. But all in all guys, I am impressed with CYRUSHER. They are fantastically well built bikes, and I can only show you my old bike is still perfect condition, although the suspension on the rear shock is slightly bent. Someone did say you can send it back. I haven't got round to it yet, but I may look into it and I may speak to CYRUSHER. But honestly, these bikes are fantastic. If you are looking, please take a look at these beauts. And like the other models I've tried, this seat is absolutely stunning. It is so comfy, it's like you're sitting on air pockets. I know some of these bikes have really hard, solid seats, and they're no fun to ride half the time, or for me anyway, a leisurely cyclist, but honestly, I've got no qualms with it so far. It is really, really comfortable. So without further ado, let's get it in the woods. Guys, honestly, it's real, it's effortless, it is unbelievable. Yes, it hasn't got the speed of my old bike, but it is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely flying. Honestly, guys, you can see it is a beautiful machine. And I think we need to put it through its testers. Come on, baby. You have a bike like this, you've got to watch out for this sand though. It's so slippery. You don't want to turn too much. There you go. And here we go. Look at this. So much fun. Oh, the sand is just no menace for this. The big tyres just really guiding up. Look at that, mate. There's no way an ordinary small tyred bike would get up these hills without some real effort. George nearly fell off, he said. Look at that. Oh, go on, oh no. You want to see these hills though, guys? You going? No, you didn't. Look, you're just sliding down in the sand, but they are some big hills. Look at that. Oh man, truly amazing bikes these really are, these CYRUSHERs. Oh god. Oh, those hydraulic brakes are absolutely stupendous. Ah, look at them, absolutely fantastic. Have a quick look at some of the features then in a little bit more detail. What I do like is the sheer size of the frame is quite a lot bigger, and it's quite nicely styled with this sort of fender type shape there. You've got the big battery there and your in charging point. I will say that the charging ports are slightly different from previous models. They're 3-pronged rather than 2. That's your little release cap, and obviously you've got your key port there to take out the battery to charge off unit. This, the new air suspension with the adjustment valve there, so you can top it up, pump it up if you want, if you're a heavier rider. Front forks then, absolutely fantastic. You've got the preload and the tensioners, like I said, at the top there. You can adjust to what terrain you're riding. The controls are exactly the same as the old model. You've got the horn, the light, lovely fantastic screen, and it has got a little CYRUSHER branding on the front there, and your Shimano 7-speed gear system, like I said already. And look at the light, it is fantastic, it's massive. And if we turn it on, it is really, really bright, beautiful, and with the built-in reflector as well. You got your calipers, your aluminium, lovely brake calipers there, fantastic, with your standard brake pads. And again, like I said, you'll see during the build, fantastic. It's gone back to the metal pedals and a lovely built-in stand. On the back then, there's your 250 motor, your improved motor, and with your light, like the old model. The rear light comes on, and if you pull the brake, you've got a brake light as well. How fantastic is that? Absolutely brilliant. And what I will say as well, this back carriage system is a marked improvement on the older version. It looks sturdy. It looks like it can hold some weight, that does. Fantastic looking bit of kit. But all in all, guys, CYRUSHER, once again, you've done yourselves proud. What better setting than on the beach? Fantastic. Whoa! One feature I really do like, guys, is that sudden start with the torque sensor. Just put your foot on the pedal and away you go. One thing I will say about it though is be careful if you're in a small area or a hard area to reach, or an area that you've not got a lot of room. As soon as you put your pedal down, it wants to go. So it's quite hard for maneuvering around tricky little areas that you don't want to apply too much power. As soon as you touch that pedal, you're off. And look, it just goes. It really is a great bike. It's so much fun. It really is. You just, CYRUSHER, you've done yourselves proud. Yet again. Now, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the ride. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And now, if you want to see the build, that's coming up next. But thank you, Felix from CYRUSHER and the company. Fantastic and brilliant bikes. Take care all. Watch the build now if you want. Bye-bye. So what do you reckon, guys? Good bike, isn't it? I think. Very good bike. Upgrade to the old one. I'll let you decide, guys. But let's show you how I built it before we took it out. So the box was a bit bashed, was a bit unfortunate, but you get the toolkit and the bike itself, you can see, very well packaged like most of the bikes I've done. So what I'll do is I'll spend 5-10 minutes now unpacking everything, getting rid of all the rubbish, and then we'll actually see the bike. And there we have it, guys, then. So unpackaged. Brilliant packaging once again. This is the first time I've done a CYRUSHER and I'm very impressed with it so far. It looks fantastic, like we've already discussed some of the bonuses and plus sides to the newer model. What you get in the box is you get your uprated light, as we've discussed already, with various connections, front mud guard. In the box itself you got your pedals. Oh, look at that, great set of Allen keys for the building. Oh, a nice bike pump. That will be the battery, instructions, and 2 spanners. So let's get going. Okay, guys, we're going to start with the front, like I said, and what we're going to do now is rotate the stem because that is facing in the wrong direction. So you've got 2 bolts here, one there and one there. So we'll loosen them off like so. On that one, so then they're nice and loose then, guys, and then we'll just rotate that 180 degrees, making sure we've got it straight. I'm using this in line with the front shock absorber bolt, roughly about there. What I will do though is I won't tighten everything fully like I always don't, and we can test and adjust at the end, but we'll loosely fix this then. Like so, and then what we'll do is I've set the stem loosely to 0. You have got gradients on the side there, and we're going to fit the handlebars. You can see, like most, you've got a little crosshair where we're going to mount into the actual stem bracket. But first, what I'm going to do is loosen these bolts off the screen just to get this plastic sheeting off. And then obviously it will be mounted like so. What I will do though is loosen the stem bolts so we can get into it. So mount the handlebars then on the serrated portion of the actual handlebars itself. Plop that into the stem. Roughly position your handlebars, because obviously we'll do that at the end like we always do. And then mount the clamp back on. What I'm going to do, guys, to make it a little bit easier, is get rid of the screen for a minute. It's slightly in the way. Now we'll continue finishing the stem, and you can actually see it a lot easier. So I would advise removing the screen prior to fitting the handlebars. Just makes it that little bit easier. That's that. And then what we'll do, while we're at the front, remount the screen. It'll be loosely fitted for a little bit of test and adjust, at the end once I sat on it and made sure everything's in the right position for me. I'm going to flip her over and we'll fit the front tyre. Whoa. Again, it's got transportation bolt, which I do like, to stop the forks getting damaged in transit. So we'll just loosen that off. We've got the front tyre. Protection cap and your 2 nuts and your 2 washers. Again, obviously bear in mind guys, you do have to line the disc brake up with the actual disc caliper, and like always it's got a little protective clip in there as well, so make sure you remove that. And it simply is line that up with your caliper into the slots for your axle, washers on and your nuts on. So yeah, nicely on, and you can see, there you go, nice and done. Front wheel is on. This is pretty simple, it's come pretty well made already, pre-built as such. You can use the stand now on the side, and we're looking like a bike. Front mudguard then, fixing bolt is already in place. Aha, that's what it was. Yeah, fortunately guys, the box was slightly damaged, so when I brought the box in, there was a washer on, a nut on the floor, and in fact it was for the front mudguard, so I'm just going to go and grab that now. Yeah, so fortunately I found that on the floor as I was bringing the box in, and again it is for your front mudguard. Quite straightforward. Plop you there. Sits either side of your front fork mount. Oh, that's quite a good fit. Slots on like so. Line up the holes, make sure you're not getting any tyre rub, and then fit the bolt, your washer, and then the nut. Simple as that. So that's your front wheel, your front mudguard fitted, your handlebars fitted. Now came pre-assembled with a saddle, so I'm going to grab the new improved light that we discussed. What I didn't show you guys is the clips quite handily, so like so with your rubber, and you've got a little clip like that, clicks round, and then you fasten with a bolt there around the stem. So that's quite round the stem. Clip the back. I'm going to go the first bolt. I'm going to go right underneath that stem portion of the plastic there, and then it's a nut, or it's a screw, washer and nut, and I'm going to go 4 E's this way, and then I'm going to put the nut and washer on the outside just to make it that little bit easier when it comes to tightening it up. And again, I'm not going to tighten them up any more than that for now, just so I can understand where I want it and what position I want it to be, and I think I'm going to go for that position. And last but not least then are the pedals, and they're metal. Well done, CYRUSHER. I do like the metal pedal. So locate that on, it does tell you tighten and loose, get that all away, and then we will have to do the last tweak with this spanner. And they do have little indentations there, or little markers to say right and left, so that's going on the left and this will go on the right. And there you go guys, fantastic CYRUSHER Kommoda 2 all built. Right, I hope you liked that video. Thank you to obviously CYRUSHER and Felix for picking our channel to showcase this awesome machine. Bye for now.